My name is Kristopher Parker. My family's been in the wine business for 40 years. My dad's a winemaker. I started homebrewing in 2005. My favorite breweries are Trappist breweries, and Trappist breweries tend to be named after sometimes the sort of Catholic saint of the region. So I started reading about Saint Barbara, and a key element in the Saint Barbara story is her creation of a third window in this bathhouse. And so we called the brewery Third Window Brewing Company.
This is one of the only places in California that I know of where you have a production brewery and a production winery that can share a courtyard. It's all literally like made on site, usually with stuff from around 50 miles.
I always say this is maybe the worst place in the world to make beer. Not in terms of the beer itself, but it's just so expensive to sort of have a production brewery here. But if you want to make beer that is of this place, that is like influenced by everything around us, you sort of have to make it here. So we're growing our own barley and wheat at the ranch. We're trying to make beer made entirely from ingredients from this place.
Now you are in sort of the epicenter of beer production. We have one of the oldest brew houses in the country, so that's all the things that you're seeing here. It was cobbled together from a bunch of dairy equipment, which is how they did it in the 70s and 80s when craft beer was first starting.
Like a lot of people in the beginning of the pandemic, I mean, we were probably days from going bankrupt in this spot. We had realized that like in order to succeed, we'd have to integrate the courtyard. And the only way to do that was to take on like still more rent. And then the rule was you couldn't have beer without food.
This is where we make all the smashed cheeseburgers, the world's tiniest kitchen. My brother-in-law made that little stainless steel plancha where we smash it all. Due to our space constraints, we can only make 9 burgers at a time.
It's funny, it takes years to start a brewery, and then someone tells you you have to have food and you have like 48 hours to figure it out or you can't open. And all you can do is like grab the best things around you that you possibly can. Micheline and I were making cheeseburgers at home, thought, well, we might be able to make enough cheeseburgers, just the two of us, to keep this place going. Somehow Micheline and I stayed married through that period of like extremely rapid growth on the cheeseburger side of things. Since then we've hired about 30 people.
My sister raises Wagyu beef in Los Olivos. Really the perspective of our food is trying to utilize like as much stuff from the ranch and the farm as we can. This is Spencer. He's really the guy that leads all the creative recipe development.
Now the team is really like moving the ball forward, which is like pretty exciting. You know, pizza's grown and we make some pretty great wings now. And that, I think, helps us accomplish our goals in beer.
It's funny, it's like a really small craft brewery that we spent a lot of time and effort in making sort of the ability to create the best beer that we possibly can. Every batch of beer is a vintage for us. We try to get better every time. We're blessed to have like an awesome team here kind of leading the effort.
Third Window's whole mission was to make the best beer that we possibly can and to be on that journey of getting better all the time in that. What we've managed to do here is to build a community of mostly local people who appreciate the hospitality. You kind of have to know we're here, and you have to come here specifically for this purpose. It's not a place where anyone who didn't mean to get here ends up, unless maybe you're going to the hardware store.